Hey everyone, I hope you're all having a beautiful day so far. If you happen to be new here, hello and welcome. My name is Emily, and today we are doing a bold and beautiful makeover. I am so excited for this makeover because it's something unexpected, I feel like, for me to do. It is definitely going to be a drastic difference than anything I have done lately, and I think you guys are really going to love it. I think it's going to spark some inspiration for you, and I have some other makeovers to share with you as well in this video and my plans for future projects and stuff. And so there's just a lot jammed in this video, and I really hope you're excited for it. I am. It's going to be completely different. We're going to take it from builder grade to like be really beautiful, and I think you're really going to love it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started on this makeover. Let me tell you the space we're working on. It's this small powder bathroom. Look how tiny it is, but it's a perfect spot to be bold and do something drastic in and something unexpected, because as you enter in, you're like, wow, that's pretty. It's going to be a showstopper. I'm really excited to be partnering with Lowe's to bring this makeover to you guys because it is going to be so beautiful. I found some amazing wallpaper to add in here, and you are not going to believe the color that I chose. I'm a little bit nervous for it, but I think it's going to look really, really good. And so, like I said, we're going bold and drastic in this space, but I think it's going to add a lot of character to the house, and it's going to be very unexpected, which is exactly what I want. This wallpaper comes in a couple different colors, and I just saw it and I was like, that is so pretty. And the lady at the paint counter was like, that is gorgeous wallpaper. And I was like, I know, isn't it? I can't wait to put it up in my house. You ready to see it? Look at that. It is going to be so different, you guys, and I'm so excited. When you're thinking about making over a room, you can draw from the wallpaper different colors as your main color for your room. So you could draw in a taupe for this, you could draw in black, green, you could do blues, you could even do yellows. So there's lots of different ways that you can spruce up general wallpaper and really make it cohesive in your home. And maybe you don't want to be bold and put it on your wall, you could put it on your ceiling. Let's get started. As with any makeover, you want to make sure you remove as much as possible from the space and then wipe down your walls, especially if you're going to be painting or hanging up wallpaper. You never know what cobwebs might be on there, and that will interfere with the application of the paint or wallpaper. And then vacuum up as much as you can, especially around your baseboards where you're going to be applying tape for taping off and stuff. Make sure those are clean and just get out any debris that might be still there. Here are some of the supplies I will be using, and of course I'll tell you exactly what I'm doing. But for your paint roller, make sure that you use some tape and get off any of the extra fuzz that might be on there. It sounds silly, but painters recommend doing this. That way you don't have lint going up on your wall that you just vacuumed or dusted. The paint color I decided to go with is definitely a stretch for me because it's not light and it's not dark. It's kind of in between, and it's called Link Gray. I was originally going to do Jogging Path to match the taupe in the wallpaper, but I wanted to be a little bolder in here because it is such a small space. Darker the color can actually make the space feel larger, which I know sounds weird, but it definitely does work. And so instead of doing the really dark cast iron color, I decided to do this one, which is right in between. I'll leave everything linked here with a QR code or in the description box below for you. That way you can grab the supplies that you need for your room makeover. But just remember, Lowe's offers free shipping on orders of $45 or more, free delivery on items that are ordered by 2 p.m. that are in stock, and they also have free store pickup whether you buy online or in store. Lowe's has a lot of great options for decor and projects to make over your home and make it look absolutely beautiful. Awkward area where you can't use the roller and you got a brush. Slightly nervous. This paint is looking kind of like wet cement at the moment, making me a little bit nervous, but I have to remember, trust the process, and the wallpaper is going to draw out more of the colors and add more color to the paint, so just trust the process. So hard to film in small spaces like this, because every little corner, especially when there's paint on the wall, you don't want to touch it. When I stand back, the paint color definitely pulls green, which I'm very happy about, but I'm still slightly nervous about it. Let's see. Okay, so it's looking good. Okay, put my mind at ease. If you have windows though in your space, definitely put a paint sample on every wall. The other thing I was thinking about adding is a wall molding, so picture molding, but I also don't want to take away from the wallpaper. So I want to get the walls painted, put the wallpaper up, and then see if you want to add picture molding. It's really a nice touch. Or you could even do like shiplap up partway on the wall. There's so many different options. Wall treatments go a really long way in making a space look super custom. Always fun to see deer out the kitchen window. That's one thing I love about being right here, is that they always cross this area and it's absolutely beautiful. So while we wait for the paint to dry so we can hang up the wallpaper, I wanted to take this time and share with you the different DIY projects I have planned for this year, and I have a lot, so hopefully we'll be able to get to them all. I always set the bar high and hopefully I try to hit it, but yeah. One of them being here in the kitchen is tile the sink wall area. I think it's going to add a lot of character to the kitchen. Decide if I want to take it all the way up the wall or if I just want to go part way and then do like a shelf or something there. I definitely want to add something, but for the tile I'm going to be using muscle bound for that. You don't have to use traditional mortar. This is basically a double-sided tape and it adheres to the wall. And then you just stick your tiles onto it. I actually used it in the cottage and it worked great and it's held up wonderfully. And it's just a lot easier to work with, especially if you are new to tiling. It's a little bit more forgiving and not so messy as traditional mortar is. I'll tell you that in case you have some tiling projects coming up. I'm looking at a lot of different samples. I started this last year and I just couldn't make up my mind. And so I feel like going in a slightly different direction. And I want kind of like an older looking tile, but I'm having a hard time finding one that matches my countertop as far as the color tones go. So I found this one at Lowe's and it has more of a Zalige look to it, but it's a little bit bigger This is traditional Zalige, and so you can see the size difference. I like the size on this, but this stuff is really thick and also curved. You can see that it's not straight, and so I don't know if I want to use something like this, because yes, it's going to add a lot of character to this space because it's not perfect. It's supposed to be an imperfect look, but also I feel like it's going to be a lot harder to install. So I think both of these look really well with the counter, and I don't want to go too dark. I want the tile to have a little variation in it so it draws your eye to it. The other area I want to work on this year is also the entryway. Now this area I actually want to do wall molding, and I really like the wall molding that Lowe's sells because it's primed and it just has a unique shape, and I can create picture molding to go up on the wall. And I've done this in an entryway, in our hallway and stuff, a subtle design to your space without it being overpowering. And it just adds some character, and I really like it. And I really like the traditional elements that wall molding add to your home. And so that's something I want to add here, as well as possibly like a closet or something. Another project that I have planned for the hallway, there's this little nook in there, and it's a perfect spot as a drop zone, but I want it to be a closed drop zone. So that's another project I have that I got to really figure out all the dimensions and probably build everything from scratch. So that's going to be fun and very interesting. So slowly and but surely I am adding more and more. Like in the living room, I had these blank spots on each side of the fireplace, and I built these custom wood built-ins on each side of the fireplace, and I absolutely love the way they turned out. I used red oak for those, and I made them look like white oak, and I just love the impact it adds to the home, and it just makes it feel so much more custom, and it actually gives you more momentum to want to do more projects. That's what's happened to me, and I love using our home as a canvas. It just inspires you to tackle a project, and if you're not comfortable with that, that is okay. Hire a professional to do it and learn from them, watch them, and ask questions, so that way if I ever want to attempt to do something like that, I can. And that is basically how I learn. The paint is finally dry, which felt like an eternity. I got 2 good coats on, and it looks so different in here already, and I absolutely love the color. It is definitely a green gray. I don't know how else to describe it to you, but it is so good. And now it's time to hang the wallpaper, the showstopper. Little tip if you've never hung wallpaper before is your walls are never straight. So do not use the edges as your guideline. Make a mark on the wall for that. So most wallpaper is like 20 and a half inches wide. So take at least ½ inch off of that measurement and mark your wall. So if mine is 20 and a half, I'm gonna mark 20 inches here on the wall, grab my level and put this up here, and then mark my straight level line, my guide point for my first piece of wallpaper. The next one is going to be the size of the wallpaper, okay? The thing you're going to need for hanging up your wallpaper is a scraper tool. You can use ones that have foam on it, or get this one. This one comes as a set with knife in it. That way you can cut the wallpaper when you're all done. And since this isn't a pre-pasted wallpaper, I'm not spraying the wallpaper down with water to activate the glue on the back. This is peel and stick, so you just peel off the back and you stick it on. Sometimes it can be frustrating to apply on the wall because it doesn't move like the pre-pasted one. So in that case, you're gonna grab yourself some Easy Hang, and this just allows it to move, but also adds a little bit of glue in the sense and helps hold it onto the wall so it doesn't come off. Kids made it. Isn't that cool? It's metallic. Goes back and forth. It's a little stiff because it needs to be worked on a little bit, but they're gonna make me a bigger one so I can just sit there and get my nerves out. When you are applying your wallpaper, the first piece is definitely probably the most challenging, just because you're trying to make sure you keep it on that level line. That way the next pieces go up perfectly. But when you are applying it to the wall, make sure you're working from the middle and working your way out. That way you're getting rid of any of the air bubbles. That works for pre-pasted or peel and stick. And then when you get down to an area where you need to trim, use your scraper tool and your knife to get a nice clean cut on whatever surface you are going to be cutting that on. This set worked really great. The knife was super sharp, but work slowly. This was very challenging working around the sink because the wallpaper was really wide, and then on the one side of the sink I had like 6 inches, so I basically had to use scissors, cut off that section so it would bend properly between the wall and the vanity. Now, when you go to apply your second piece, your third, and so forth, you need to match up the design. The patterns will repeat ever so often. Some wallpapers will tell you. I cannot recommend enough applying the Easy Hang spray to the wall. Makes all the difference with peel and stick. This was so much easier to move around. You can see that in some spaces I'll have like a bubble there. I go back and work it back up, take it off and work it back up, and it's held up great. Just take your time with it. It is a little bit more of a tedious job, and if you have a helper it goes even faster, but you can definitely do this on your own like I am here. Remember how I said working around the vanity was hard? Well, let me tell you, working around the toilet was even harder. I basically had to cut out a U shape because I could not get the panel to go all the way down in that slim amount of space. So work with what you got. Most of the time I put a wallpaper, it's in a free space, so I'm not working around objects. It is definitely doable, but it's just a little more time consuming, and you might smile a little bit more. Well, I finished the wallpaper and I absolutely love it, but let me tell you, it took me forever, it felt like. Now it's time for us to finish decorating the space, add in a couple of different elements and stuff. I do want to add some vintage pieces to it and just add some charm to the space. I might have to go thrifting for that, but I'm gonna try to work with what I have already and see if we can bring a little bit more life to this powder bath. So let's go ahead and start adding those final touches to this room makeover. Okay, I have a couple pieces of art, but one's really large and the other ones I feel like might be too small, but I'll give it a whirl. I have this one so far, and I like this print because it kind of takes you back a little bit, but that I think could be really pretty on the wall. We use a wood frame on the wall. I like this piece of art, but I like it with the wall color, not per se the wallpaper. So I'm kind of torn there. Backside. So I'm just going to take that off and see if we can use the frame and the matting and go from there. feel like wall molding would be a nice impact on the walls, and then I wouldn't have to put in anything, but it still needs art or something. This art piece is nice, but I feel like I need like 2 smaller pieces. I just don't have them. I went through all of my art and none of the art that I have is the right coloring, and I'm just kind of annoyed with it. But yeah, I just kind of feel like I need to live with it for a little bit and then see what I want to add to it. I don't want to overpower the space. I really want the wallpaper to be the focal piece and look amazing. I don't want to draw too much away from that. So we'll see. Well, I hope you all enjoyed today's makeover. I had a lot of fun doing it and I think it turned out really beautiful. Sure, is there more I could add? Absolutely. We can find different vintage pieces to add to it, which I think would actually be really pretty with the wallpaper and stuff, but I'm really pleased with how much character the powder bath has now, and I just think it's really pretty. Every time I walk by it, I'm like, ooh, I like it, and it's just a place I want to be in. So hopefully that inspires you to add a little bit of character to your home, whether it be through wallpaper, wall molding, or just painting it, sprucing up the curtains, or adding a rug. Small touches like that can make a big impact in your home, and I hope it just inspires you to try out some of these ideas and everything. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Definitely be sure to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and be sure to check out Lowe's for all of your home improvement needs and makeovers you have coming up. I have a lot of beautiful items and I hope it helps you out. So with that, I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.